Okay, I think I've done everything I need to do for the beginning controls, or excuse me, the beginning sprite attributes. So let's move on. Sprite movement functions. Now you'll make the functions that make the sprite move in different ways as the game is played. Some examples of functions that you've written are loop platforms in Lesson 21, Puzzle 9, and player fall in Lesson 21, Puzzle 14. Okay, so we did use player fall. I don't think I want to use loop platforms right now. If you want to do that, please view this puzzle or level and steal that function. So I think for my game, I think we are done with this level. User controls, we definitely did this. That was done when I chose to copy the code from probably Lesson 21, Level 14 or 15, and that's where we got the control player function. I am gonna let's edit this velocity. I don't like this. When you press the up button, it's just the velocity is too much. I don't like how high it goes. Yeah, that's better. Before I press it down hard and the green monster just disappears for a couple seconds, and I don't like that. Now I'm thinking about it, I think I do want to edit this coin. It's not working well. I want it to be, as soon as you touch it, I want it to appear in other random areas. How can we do that? Well, let's see. It's every time I touch it, it's off the screen. So there's got to be something with the function. I'm going to pause the video and figure it out. So as you see, I have a set fork function, but I don't have a set bronze coin function or set bronze function. So we're going to want to do this, but it's going to be set bronze instead of set fork. And where did I call the set fork function? Yeah, and we're going to call it up here. Okay, so we can copy set fork, Control C on the keyboard. I'm going to paste it right beneath. My cursor appeared beneath, so I'm going to paste it. Change it to set bronze. Bronze. Oh, we don't need this. Is this an if statement? Is this if alien is touching? Okay, well, let's take this out. And I think we want fork.y to be a random number as well. So let's go into math, find random number, put it in here, 0, 400. And we don't have if is touching in set fork. So what did we do? Because look, if I touch it, if I touch the fork, it resets. So where is the code that does that? Didn't look like it was in set fork. Ah, collect items. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we definitely don't want these we don't want these random numbers. That must have to do with the code we copied this from. So let's change these numbers to 0, 400, 0, 400, and maybe we don't need this set bronze function. Well, let's leave it in. Let's see what happens. Guess we'll put the set bronze up here beneath all the bronze blocks. $81. I'm not sure what the problem is here, because okay, well, it ran, so let's see. Bronze is up there. Okay, yeah, looks like it's working now. But I still don't like this velocity. It's crazy. How can I adjust that? Let's look at the velocity again. Velocity equals velocity y minus 2. Let's just make it 1. Let's see. That should be half as strong. Okay, yeah, that's better. Much better. But then it falls down, and it falls super fast. Alright, let's see what's going on. Is he ever going to come down? Okay, he came down. Yeah, well, I guess I'll just have to deal with that. Alright, so let's move on to the next level. Sprite Interactions. The last step is to create the functions that make your sprites interact in the right way. So we did that. You can use collect items. We did that. Displace enemies. We do not need that for this game. Okay, let's move on to the next level. Let's see. I think, yeah, finishing touches. This is all we're going to need. So how do I want this game to end? How do I want it to how do I want it to end if you get a high score or something like that? And how do I want it to end if you do poorly? So I'm thinking if lives equals 0, you get the game over sign. So how can we make it so that you can do well and the game can end? That's something I'm going to think about. There are a lot of improvements I want to make to this game, but let's stick to the first one. Find a way to keep your player from going off the edges of the screen. So as you can see, if I go all the way to the left, he goes off the screen. Same thing with the right. If I go to the right, he goes off the screen. So what we can do is we can make sprites that go along the edges of the screen, and we can set the collide attribute to the green monster and the sprite that we have on the side of the screen. So let's find animations that look good on the side of a screen. Obstacles. And you know what? We could just draw a line. Yeah, let's create our own animation. Draw your own. I'm going to take this pencil tool and I'm going to draw a line down. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to click crop the sprite. Okay. So now this is our sprite. Let's name it line 1. Or actually, let's name it wall 1. And we're going to have wall. No, let's just name it wall, and then we'll create variables wall 1 and wall 2. And both of them's animation will be the wall. Okay. So what do we do when we create these sprites? All the way at the top, we're going to use the create variable block, and we're going to use the set animation block. These are in the sprites drawer. We'll name this one wall 1. Set animation wall. And we will do x0, y200. Let's see where that goes. Okay, yeah, I see a little bit of the wall. So that's a good thing. So now we want to do the collide. And I think here, let's look at our player to lands. I guess we can create a function player hits wall and do the same thing we did here. So let's do that. Control C on your keyboard will copy that. I click, my cursor is beneath that function, so I'm going to paste. Player lands. I'll just name it player wall. Wall 1. And we're going to make wall 2. We haven't made it yet, so I'm just going to put that in there. And then I'm going to drag this block out. And once we create wall 2, this should work. So let's go back to the top of our code where we're creating the sprites. Let's copy this code for wall 1 and paste beneath it. Control V. Rename this wall 2. You do not need to change the animation. So let's look at the coordinates on the right side of the screen, and it's about 400, 200. So now we have two sprites blocking the sides of the screen. The only thing is, I don't know how long these span. We want them to go the length of each wall. So how can we do that? First things first, I'm going to turn on the debug for both of those sprites so we can see how large they are. Set it to true. Okay, so it looks like it starts here, ends here. How can we stretch that? Well, I think we can change its sprite.height. So let's add a sprite.height block. And we can make it something really drastic, like 100. I don't know if that's going to make it much bigger or not, but I would imagine it would. It doesn't look like it did. So what else can we do to increase the length of this? Let's delete the height blocks and let's do scale. Sprite.scale. And I think 4 times the size should work. Wall 1, 4, wall 2, and make that size 4, that scale 4. Okay, yeah, that made it larger. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Does our player stop from going out? Doesn't look like it. Oh, want to know why? Because we didn't call the function. So let's do that. I think I named the function player wall. Not to be confused with player fall. And let's call that function right there. Okay, perfect. It works. Okay, great.